Okay, so the camera is on and we're good to go. All right. So I'm just going to go through a quick run over of my fourth ACL diary. It's going to be a lot shorter because in reality, pre-injury, the pre-injury video, or the pre-surgery video, you go through the injury, you go through the day-to-day, things like that. Day-to-day, there's not much changes here, but what I have noticed is, and sorry to skip over, month one video, there's a lot of changes in your range of motion. Month two video, then there's a lot of progress in your day-to-day life, so your quality of life starts to improve. And I just feel this one won't really have as much detail. Now, if you go on my Instagram, I'm still tracking day-to-day what I'm doing. So I'm just going to talk through kind of the format of what I did here. Now, between here, I'm going to speak mainly just on week 9 to week 12. But on the program I'm about to explain is from week 8 to 13. And then from week 14 onwards, I'll be changing the program and moving into the next phase, which will involve slow jogging and things like that. So I'm just gone past my 3-month check last week. Everything's going well, bit of muscle coming back. And I suppose if I'm to go through the positives and everything from month 3, I'd have to start with the strength training is starting to look like regular strength training. So the strength training is very good. The weights are moving up. I'm performing movements I used to perform: trap bar deadlift, hip thrusts, squats, split squats, things like that at full range of motion. Squats not at full range of motion, but I'm squatting to a box around or below parallel. I just have a copy here in front of me. So the first thing I'm going through is the structure I'll talk about, and I'll just run over this. So what I did was I looked at it as over a 5-day period, and I repeated those 5 days. In this month, I didn't really take any rest days. I think I rested the last day of the last block, and then I just jumped straight into it from week 9 on to week 12. And the way the structure looked was gym, bike, gym, swim, and sled. So gym sessions, the way I structured those were, so day 1 was gym, day 3 was gym, and day 5 was gym. Now they're 3 gym sessions. I worked off of a 4-day split. So I'd have gym day 1, gym day 2, gym day 3, and then even though I've started my next 5-day cycle, my first gym session was gym 4. So there were 4 different sessions. Now the way I structured those was the start would have some accessory work, and the accessory work would be comprised of tibialis raises, wall sits, glute bridges, psoas marches, calf raises, really simple things, just warming up, part of my rehab stuff. The odd few hops as well if I was allowed. Then I would go into my lower body strength. The 4 main movements I picked throughout the gym sessions were trap bar deadlift, Romanian deadlift, hip thrust, and I believe the other one was trap bar deadlift, Romanian deadlift, hip thrust, and I can't think of what the other one was now. There was another one anyway. They were the 4 movements I was going through. Split squats, dumbbell split squats. Then I'd go straight from that lower body movement. I did 5 sets of 8, so quite high volume. I went into my 5 sets of 5 strength for upper. I kept upper really basic. So the 4 movements I picked on the 4 different days were bench, pendlay row, overhead press, and weighted chin-ups. That was as simple as that, 5 by 5. And then I went into 4 sets of 10 of some more lower body work. So this was kind of the not as heavy stuff, I suppose. So things like goblet box squats, barbell step-ups, maybe Peterson step-ups. What else had I in those? Calf raises and other kind of lower impact work where there's not as much range of motion and not as much stress because I'd done all my heavy stuff beforehand. And then at the end, I just throw in some accessory work, some upper body accessories from push-ups, inverted rows, curls, band work, things like that. So that's the structure of the sessions. So over the space of 5 days, I would do 3 gym sessions. Now, I go gym, bike, gym, swim, sled. So over the course of 6 days, actually, I would have the 3 sessions in, not 5, sorry. So on the bike, I got out on the road bike on week 9. Again, started with 20k, built up to 30, 35k. So I'm somewhere between 30 to 35k most bike sessions. On a road again, I could have got on a road sooner, but given my work commitments, time commitments, things that were on, I just didn't. So I found the stationary bike best beforehand. So once you're confident to get on the road, it's nice for a change. I still hate cycling. That's important to note, but I'm getting it done as well. Then my swimming sessions, I started off that in my second block, my second phase, so weeks 4 through 8, I was doing a lot of that. And I've just built up to a 2 kilometre swim, so 100 lengths of a 20-metre pool. And the way I break those up is I literally went from 1 week, once I started just swimming on its own and not in double days, I increased the volume. So 50 lengths, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So 100 lengths was the recent, and it looked like 30 lengths break, 20 lengths break, 20 lengths break, 15 break, 15 break. Well, 15 finish. So that's the way I went through those. I found breaking them up in declining sets helped me get through it, because once I have the big bulk done, it's kind of easier to go into the next. Sled drags again, I just stuck with 20 to 30 kg. I think I capped it at 30 kg because before I did my sled drags, I did a lot of lunges, single leg stuff, the bilateral hops, the single leg landing, things like that. Again, you'll see them all on the Instagram. On my highlights, I have everything put in there. And then I'd pull a sled for 30 minutes. Roughly, I'd be getting somewhere between 1.5 to 2 kilometers, depending on the terrain at the time. Sometimes it was a bit rougher, the grass I was using. Sometimes it was a bit smoother. Really did depend. Good excuse to get the boots on again and work with football boots. That's good for the proprioception when you're recovering. And I plan to do all my running in football boots as well. So that's really the main thing with the last month, has just been the consistency, I suppose. And I haven't taken really any days off. I've just gone through it exactly as I said. The gym sessions were full body sessions, focusing just on compound lifts, focusing on getting stronger again, bilaterally especially. The only single leg work I've really been doing had been step up split squats and things like that. The rest has been fairly bilateral and just getting generally strong again, which is important, and adding a bit more muscle mass. As part of my plan, nutrition-wise, I have decided to put up a bit of weight. So again, nothing too extreme. I'm weighing in maybe 4 to 7 mornings a week and getting the averages. And, I'm only up a few pounds on average, but lowest to heaviest, I'm up a good few pounds. I plan to go up another 5 pounds over the next 2 months or so, and then see where I'm at, maybe maintain it and then cut into it. The reason I'm opting for putting on weight, which I know I will put on a little bit of fat with it, which I'm fine with. But the reason is I've been training for so long that I don't have the liberty of building muscle easily, I suppose. I'm about 10 years or more in a gym now. So for me to put on muscle, I'm going to have to pay a bit more attention to my nutrition. The newbie gains are long gone. I'm going to have to add a little bit of weight to the frame. And I want to do that considering I need to get stronger. I need to build my ligaments and build myself for impact again as I get back jogging. So again, I'll be another couple of months doing that. Once I'm comfortable that I can run or do tempo runs, and once I feel my running or my cardiovascular fitness will benefit hugely from losing a few pounds, I will do that in time. But again, I'm in no rush. The summer bod will definitely have to wait till next year. That's pretty much it, really. I don't want to go on too much more. It's been a pretty good month. Month 3 I found was the one where I could finally start to build and start to work toward something and laying foundation, whereas the first 2 months was all about range of motion, reintroducing movements, getting comfortable with movements, being able to climb the stairs okay, things like that. Now I do find in the morning coming down the stairs still a bit of a niggle at times. Don't know if it's in my head or what, but I do feel it. But yeah, definitely time to kick on now, seeing as I'm post 12 weeks and the graph is meant to have set by now. So that's all I'm going to leave it at today. A lot shorter than the other ones, but a quick check-in nonetheless.